everybody, what's up fam? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com coming to you with the final video from the series. Shout outs to all my subscribers who caught the title reference to these videos. You down with PCP? Hell no, not me! You down with PCP? Hell no, not me! You down with PCP? Hell no, not me! Who's down with PCP? Oh, the crazies! Oh, it cracked me up. Anywho, I had a wonderful time going back to my original video about Terence Crutcher and making all those asshats who swore up and down that the window to Terence Crutcher's SUV was up, eat crow. I made them all eat crow, baby, and let me tell you something. It was glorious. Oh, and they were so salty. The next time you come with me with some bullshit, make sure you got your facts straight. Okay? So now I'm going to destroy the final lie that was told in reference to Terence Crutcher's case, and that was that Officer Shelby shot Terence Crutcher because she was racist. So I'm going to destroy that lie the same way I destroyed the lie about Terence Crutcher being a pastor and a good man. During my first video coverage of this incident, I told my subscribers and viewers that if I was Officer Shelby, I would have filled Terence Crutcher up with holes as he was backing me up towards my squad car. Why? Because he's bigger than me, stronger than me, and he was high off drugs. Even though it was unknown at the time what type of drug he had consumed, the fact that he was non-compliant made him dangerous. Yes, I'm much taller, bigger, stronger, and more skillfully experienced in hand-to-hand combat than Officer Shelby, but what really sets us apart is the fact that she's white and I'm black. You see, thanks to my black privilege, if I would have shot Terence Crutcher while he was reaching inside his SUV, it wouldn't have made national news. Black police officers shooting black criminals is not a big deal. Sure, the black community would be irritated about it, but they wouldn't start a riot over it. I mean, a black person killing another black person is an everyday event. Like, what else is new? But if a white police officer shoots a black criminal, niggas and their white chicken shit slaves will lose their fucking minds. This is why it was purposely told to the black community that a white police officer shot Keith Scott when the truth is a black police officer shot him. We all know that low IQ Negroes will only riot when told that a white police officer shot a black criminal and not the other way around. Painting black people as helpless victims who are hunted down by white police officers sell newspapers, boost ratings, and increase views. This is race baiting 101, and this false narrative has caused white police officers to second guess themselves. This is what happened to Officer Shelby. While Terence Crutcher was backing her towards her squad car, she hesitated shooting him then because he's black and she's white. In my opinion, this sounds more like black privilege than racism. People also judged her as a racist because she was the only police officer who had her gun out on Terence Crutcher, and this was not true. The first two police officers who joined her were males. The first male to her immediate left had his gun out, while the other male to the far left pulled out his taser. The female who later joined pulled out her gun. But let's just say for the sake of argument that all of the police officers who arrived as backup pulled out their tasers instead of their guns. Remember, Officer Shelby knew he was on drugs and witnessed his erratic behavior. She was with him the longest, so she was the only police officer there who realized how dangerous he was. He was confrontational, refused to talk, kept putting his hand in his left pocket, and didn't comply to the orders that were given to him. Officer Shelby drew her gun on him when he wouldn't stop approaching her. She told him to stop and to get on the ground. He refused, and that's when she pulled out her gun. Now, I've seen some retards say that she was a weak woman because she pulled out her gun. They had the fucking nerve to say that police officers don't pull their guns out just because they're scared. What the fuck are you shit for brains talking about? When a police officer pulls his or her gun out, it means you are scaring them. Officer Shelby pulled out her gun when she thought her life was in danger. She kept her gun out because Terence Crutcher never gave an indication that he posed no threat to her. The police officer told Terence Crutcher over and over and over to stop, don't walk towards your vehicle, get on the ground, turn around, and he ignored all of those commands. So when he reached inside his vehicle, it gave Officer Shelby the right to shoot him because she had sincere reasons to believe that he was reaching for a weapon. This is the reason why Attorney Crump purposely lied to the public by telling them that the window to Terence Crutcher's SUV was up and not down. Just like the Michael Brown hands up and don't shoot lie, this piece of shit lawyer played on the ignorance of the weak in order to paint Officer Shelby as a villain. Also, there's this idiotic notion that police officers shoot to kill. This is not true. Police officers shoot to stop. They don't shoot to kill. Some criminals die, others don't. That's how it is, folks. Welcome to Street Wars. Some may not like it, but those are the rules. I said it before and I'll say it again. Stop putting the blame on police officers and start blaming these ghetto-ass hood rats who teach their children, especially their sons, how to disrespect and fight the police. The police are not the problem. This and this is the problem. Let's talk about PCP for a moment. As a little girl growing up in the ghetto, I've been exposed to various drugs. Because I have seen how people react on drugs and how it destroyed their lives, is probably one of the main reasons why I refuse to do drugs. This includes marijuana. But if I have to encounter a criminal high on drugs, I'd rather be somebody high on marijuana than PCP. In my police career, I have had the unfortunate experience of fighting a guy on PCP, and let me tell you, it was not a good experience. Even though my partner and I were bigger than this guy and stronger than this guy, our punches, kicks, knees, and elbows to his face did not faze him. I even pepper sprayed him and he licked it like it was candy. In the end, it took 6 police officers to take him down. The following day, our police chief told us the next time that we encounter a criminal like that to just shoot him. Just shoot him, and if there is a backlash, he'll deal with it. But thanks to the racist domestic terrorist group like Black Lives Matter, white police officers today are faced with a dilemma that they have never been faced with before. Receive public scrutiny for protecting myself and my fellow officers by doing my job, or allow myself to be killed or seriously injured so my police department and I won't be labeled a racist. Due to the incident that involved Officer Shelby, white female police officers nationwide are risking their lives in order to avoid public scrutiny. On October the 5th, 2016, Officer Veronica Murillo and her partner responded to a 911 call about a car that had crashed into a liquor store in Chicago. As the officers pulled up, a witness identified 28-year-old Parta Husk as the driver. He was walking away from the scene where he crashed his car into the liquor store. Okay, what the hell is up with people high on PCP wanting to drive? Like, seriously? So as a biker, I have to look out for soccer moms talking on their cell phones, millennials texting while driving, drunk drivers, and now niggas high on PCP? Good gosh. Anywho, after the witness pointed out the guy, the officer drove into the direction where another police officer was following him. Here's the video footage of what happens next.
That's him? Come here, man. Come here. Hey. I ain't playing with you, dude. I'm going to tase you in like 2 seconds. I ain't even fucking around with you. Put your hands in your bag. Put your hands behind your back. I don't give a fuck who you are. I know who you are. I locked you up. You crazy, dude? Please. Put your hands behind your back. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Fuck him. Taser, get down.
Now, this is the first round of tasing this savage will get, and he's going to get tased a lot during his altercation with the police. But when you are high on PCP, getting tased is like getting pinched by a baby. When these criminals are high on PCP, electric volts don't do shit to them. To me, it looked like it makes them stronger. This is why our chief told me when I was a police officer to shoot people like this instead of fighting them. I also wouldn't have handcuffed him so soon. I would have waited until I got him on the ground first, but that's just my style of policing. You see, I personally like to have complete control over the perpetrator before I start slapping some silver jewelry on his wrist.
Get down! Get down on the ground!
Taser! Get down on the ground! Taser! Stop now! Stop fighting!
Get down on the ground! Fred! Roosevelt insists your old taser deployment!
So that's a second round of electric volts from the handheld taser, and he's unfazed, still fighting. Also, you all don't know this, but what Officer Murillo is doing is a control technique that's taught to us in the police academy. What she is doing is taking handcuffs that's around his wrists and twisting it backwards towards her, which hurts like hell. But this type of technique is more effective on hinged handcuffs like this. You see this? This is a pair of hinged handcuffs, which are great to control a suspect if he tries to fight you, because you can just grab the center of these cuffs and just slightly twist them, and that shit will pinch the nerves in his wrist, and it is extremely painful. He will fall to his knees in agony. But if he's high on drugs and continues to fight, just twist those handcuffs all the way to the back, and his wrist is broken. Immediately, that shit'll just snap apart immediately. Here's something to all my Deadpool fans. Remember when Deadpool punched Colossus in the nuts and broke his wrist? That's what will happen if police officers take these hinge cuffs and twist them 180 degrees. Their wrists will totally snap apart. But she's using chain cuffs, which still hurts, but they're not effective on men who are high on PCP.
Ride him! Stop fighting!
Send him to some more calls.
Ride him! Ride him! Ride him!
Get down on the ground, dude! Get down on the fucking ground!
Okay, right here, folks, is where she should have let go of the cuffs, pulled out her gun, and popped his ass 4 times in the chest. Her partner's on his right-hand side, choking him so he won't get hit by any of the bullets. But she's so close, she wouldn't be able to hit her partner anyway. She'll get all her bullets right in the center. So once she let out those rounds, she and her partner just step away, let them fall, and then call for the ambulance. That will put an end to this madness. By the way, he's still tasing this asshole in the neck. In the fucking neck. And this nigga is still standing and fighting. Fuck cocaine. PCP is a hell of a drug.
Get down on the ground! Get down on the ground! Get down on the ground!
This savage just punched her in the face several times before slamming her head into the ground. And what the fuck was this sister doing? Like, why are you just standing there watching your co-workers fight this nigga? Why are you fat? Why is she fat? Okay, this is unacceptable. You have a small female, a fat man, and a fat black woman. What the fuck? Why is Chicago Police Department allowing their officers to be fat? See, y'all think I always have something positive to say about my blue family. Yeah, when they do something justified, when they do something right, you damn right I'm going to take up for them and I'm going to speak highly of them. But when they're doing something wrong, I'm going to say something about it. And being fat as a police officer working in the hood is wrong. Look, niggas in the hood love to run. And they love to fight. You can't chase them with all that fucking police gear on and body fat. You can't effectively fight them either because you'll run out of breath. If you're going to work in the hood, if you're going to work in the low-income housing projects, you must be in shape. You're not supposed to be out of shape. And this black female officer just pissed me the fuck off because you're just looking at your sister in blue getting her ass kicked and you're just standing there. This is unacceptable, unfucking acceptable. So let me explain what we have here. We have another overweight black woman arriving to do nothing. We have a black male civilian who's trying to help. Bless his heart, he's trying to help. But unfortunately, he's going to get shocked in the process. But at least he's trying. The first black woman is finally getting into the mix, trying to remove his hands off of her partner's head. And the fat white officer is still tasing his asshole and it's not working. Just so you all know, Officer Murillo is unconscious at this moment. Okay, thank God. A police officer who's in shape and is skilled finally arrives on the scene. Now, I want y'all to pay close attention to what he does as soon as he arrives to the others. See what he did? Did you see what he did? Quick thinking on his part. He reached down and pulled this nigga out from under that worthless pile of police officers, jumped on his legs, took out his taser gun, and applied it to the back of his neck. He needed to get them out of the way so that he can effectively tase him. They were just standing there doing nothing, just taking up space. He was not able to get in there to get this nigga under control because they're just basically standing in the way. Good thinking on his part. Excellent work. Oh my God, I am so over these two sisters here. I'm so over them. They are so worthless. Now all of a sudden, one of them decides at the last minute to use her taser gun on him. And now she's applying the taser gun to his lower leg. Oh, and I know what y'all gonna say. This is the reason why women shouldn't be cops. No, that's not it. Women who don't like to fight shouldn't be cops, or shouldn't be cops in the hood. Have you noticed that these two heifers don't want to get on the ground? This is why I encourage all women to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, especially police officers. Most, if not all of your fights as a cop will end up on the ground. If you're too dainty, if you're too pretty, and if you're too overweight to get on the ground, then you need to change careers. Go be a meter maid or a dispatcher. But if you're going to be a police officer in the concrete jungle, you need to get down and dirty like men. So now this Negro got 3 tasers on him and he's still resisting. Still being tased by 3 tasers. 3 tasers, folks. The in-shape police officer just finished punching him in the face and head. Yet this nigga is still fighting back and he still has his grip on Officer Murillo's head. So do you see how serious this is? Do you see how it is to deal with someone on PCP? This savage has been tased for over 3 minutes. Do you know how crazy that is, folks? You and I couldn't handle several seconds of being tased, and this nigga has endured over 3 minutes of this shit. So, after being kicked in the head with steel-toe boots, after being elbowed in the face several times, and continuously tased by 4 tasers, this savage finally lets go of Officer Murillo. By the way, even though he let her go, he still was fighting with the police. It took another 4 to 5 minutes before his body gave out from receiving all that abuse before they were able to hogtie him. And this is what he looked like the following day when he was sober. Now listen to what the superintendent of the Chicago Police Department had to say at the press conference.
This officer could have lost her life last night. She looked at me and said she thought she was going to die. And she knew that she should shoot this guy. But she chose not to because she didn't want her family or the department to have to go through the scrutiny the next day on national news.
Officer Murillo was hospitalized and suffered a concussion, neck injuries, bone chips in her shoulder and wrist. She is still in the hospital recovering from her injuries. Parta Husk was charged with attempted murder and aggravated assault and was ordered to be held without bail. And just like Terence Crutcher, this asshole has a long criminal record. Ironically, he was released on bail the same day for attacking another police officer earlier this year. This is the reason why the judge denied him bail the second time around. Folks, I know many of you think that Officer Shelby is going to be offered as a sacrificial lamb in the name of Black Lives Matter, but I don't think so. You see, thanks to this incident and countless others, it will be shown to the jury that these men are not only dangerous to police officers, but are also dangerous to society. It will also be explained to the jury how PCP affects the brain. Officer Shelby's lawyer will show the jury how moderate weapons such as tasers and pepper spray don't stop them. What people don't know is that a high percentage of criminals who use PCP come out in public and terrorize law-abiding citizens. They all resist arrest and fight the police. As you look at this footage now, you see two fit deputy sheriffs fighting with another criminal high on PCP. This is one of many dangerous encounters police officers face when dealing with the black community. It's so easy to sit behind the comforts and safety of your own computer and pass judgment on people who risk their lives every day to protect the public from scum like this. However, if you took the time to actually witness what they have to deal with on a daily basis, you wouldn't be so quick to judge them. You actually will see things from their point of view and relate to them with compassion and understanding. Of course, this does not include the black community or nigger apologists. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about law-abiding citizens who take accountability for their actions, people who are an asset to this great nation. So remember, fam, when you hear about a police shooting, don't be so quick to jump on the fuck the police train. Trust me, that train is going to crash and burn soon. The media and other race-baiting YouTube channels will manipulate you with emotions instead of facts. Take the time to listen to the other side. Fact check both sources, wait for other crucial information to surface, and then come to your own conclusion. By doing this, you'll be an independent thinker. You'll be one of the few who will take action based upon facts rather than react based upon emotions. This is Tree from treeoflogic.com. Thanks for taking the time to watch my video, and I'll see you all next time.